I want to compare it to my Samsung S23 Ultra. Is it worth switching to the iPhone? I have some thoughts, so stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? My name is Kareem, and Apple has just announced the new iPhone 15 Pro. I've been waiting on this event all year pretty much, but it feels like year after year, Apple keeps introducing something that Android has already had. This year, you'll see it with the USB-C, which I've had USB-C on my phone for about 5 years now, something like that. It's cool that it's being introduced now with the iPhones. There's also big improvements with the camera with the now 5x optical zoom, which Samsung has already had a 10x zoom, but it's okay. Let's talk about some of the improvements that I've noticed with this year's iPhone 15 Pro. Now, if you don't know, I haven't had an iPhone for about 8 years now. I think it was about 2016 when I switched over to the Nexus 6P, and ever since then, I haven't really switched back or thought about going back up until recently, actually. And that's basically because every year I felt like Android was introducing something new and innovative, although it wasn't flawless. It was something new and fresh. Whether it was a Samsung, their foldables, or if it was the Google Pixel with the best camera for like 3-4 years in a row. So those were some of the things that were drawing me into either the Pixel or the Galaxy. I feel like iPhone slowly but surely has picked up on a lot of the different things that I've liked from either the Samsung Galaxy or the Google Pixel. First is the camera. Even though I feel like personally, I really love the camera on the S23 Ultra, and I prefer it to the iPhone 14 Pro. Every year, I felt like the iPhone was getting better and better, and of course, videography on the phones, iPhone usually took that. This year, the S23 Ultra really shined in videography. If you haven't already, I did a day in the life where I compared 14 Pro with the S23 Ultra, and I compared everything like battery life and camera quality, videography. Check that out if you haven't. I don't think you could go wrong when it comes to just camera capabilities with either of those two phones. But yeah, when it comes to camera, you know, this year they introduced an optical 5x zoom lens, which it's still not as good as the Samsung. It's Apple, so I expect it to be top notch. And that's something that I just always love to have on my phone. Whenever you're in sporting events, concerts, different things where you want to get a nice shot and you're really far from whatever you're shooting, you can get a crystal clear picture from far away. That let Samsung stand out a lot more than iPhones, in my opinion. That kind of deterred me from ever getting an iPhone. Another thing that I really loved on this that the iPhone, I guess, is getting this year is, of course, USB-C. Personally, I have a MacBook, I have an iPad, and I'm already kind of baked into the Apple ecosystem, and they all have USB-C. iPhones didn't have that, didn't really make sense to me. Now that they do have it, you know, I could see myself switching and, you know, being a seamless transition. I didn't have to get any lightning cables or any additional cables or anything like that because I'm pretty much set once I get that phone. If I get that phone. Also, when it comes to performance with this phone versus the iPhone 15, 14, the performance on both of these are honestly really good. When it comes to like everyday tasks or having a bunch of different apps loaded and switching back and forth, you can go through both of these phones. I'm pretty sure with the iPhone 15, you can go lightning fast. Same as you can do with the S23 Ultra. Picture in picture, I feel like I use that every single day with my Galaxy. And I know they've had it for a couple of years now, but you know, it kind of got on my radar like, okay, like if I were to switch, it wouldn't be so bad. I'll still have picture in picture. Now I'll have USB-C, I'll have an optical zoom lens. The always on display is something that Android has always had. And now that iPhone has it as well, I feel like that would make it even more seamless switching to iPhone. Yeah, I've just been noticing year after year, more and more pieces, more and more distinctions that I had previously are slowly but surely kind of getting eliminated. And now I'm kind of thinking, I mean, I have a MacBook, I have an iPad, maybe having an iPhone, the whole ecosystem would be complete. You know, for right now, I'm still rocking with my S23 Ultra, but let's get into some of the things about the iPhone 15 Pro that I really like. For one, the battery life, if it's anything like the 14 Pro, I think it'll be actually really, really good. My S23 Ultra is pretty much giving me all day battery life and then some. And when I compared it to the iPhone 14 Pro, I have friends who say their iPhone 14 Pro lasts all day. They really don't have to worry about battery life. And I think that's something that's kind of been the standard with iPhones, or at least the iPhone Pro series. Battery life, I think it's a given that it'll be really, really good. And they're saying that it's their best of all time, which they say that every year. So the camera, I know I touched on the camera a little bit, but I'm really, really excited to see different capabilities of the camera. That's probably my main focus, especially on this channel. Night mode and videography. Stabilization is one thing. I noticed that the S23 definitely did a lot better than the iPhone 14 Pro. With that in mind, I can't wait to get my hands on it. I really love the new titanium body that they're going for. They're saying it's gonna be lighter than previous models as well as more durable. It just really looks clean. As for price, the iPhone 15 Pro starts at $999. The S23 Ultra, there's no smaller version of this, so you'd have to go for the bigger screen, which is 6.8 inches versus you have the option of 6.1 or 6.7 with the iPhone. If you're not used to big phones, you kind of just have to suck it up and get the bigger phone if you want the Ultra. So yeah, let me know your opinions on this new iPhone 15 Pro. I definitely can't wait to check it out. I may even possibly upgrade, who knows? Like I said, I'm not biased on this channel. I'll go for whatever phone I'm feeling. I'll hurt my pockets doing it, but it is what it is. All right, peace.